Hello, good morning, and welcome to the Stone Busters Taste Challenge. We have two 40% alcohol blended Scotch whiskeys. Adjust this camera. We had a little problem yesterday. All right, where it fell. Okay, one of these have a website listing. So if you try to look up the website for Trader Joe's blended Scotch whiskey, you're not going to find anything. Oh, there'll be people talking about it, but there's no official website, okay? No listing for it. So it exists. I'm holding it in my hands. It was $10.99 for this liter bottle. Now here's Glen Logie. I bought this at Total Wine and More, and they had it for $9.99 for this 750 milliliter bottle, Glen Logie. Now the trademark information says that in 2015, Whyte McKay applied for a trademark, and they claim they're the owner of it. Okay, I mean, that's the U.S. government patent office. Glen is a valley, so there's the valley, the Glen Logie Valley. All right. I don't think there's a distillery near there. They just named it after that because it sounds nice. There's a sticker on the back. I tried to peel it off. It wouldn't come off without ripping the label. It says, but I don't know what that, but underneath the sticker on the label, it says distilled, blended, and bottled in Scotland. Hay and MacLeod Limited, Glasgow. Hay and MacLeod. Imported by Saranti Imports, Stamford, Connecticut. No website for that. Hay and MacLeod. I couldn't find any information about them. Okay, so I'm going to go with what the U.S. Trademark Office is saying, and that it's Hay and MacLeod might be an alias name for Whyte McKay to cover up the fact that they make this. Okay, whatever the case, but that's what I found. Okay, go clean this bottle off. Total Wine and More. It's not a Total Wine private label product because I have seen it at other liquor stores, or like on their websites selling it. B Aviation says bonjour, Ron. Good morning to you, B Aviation. Maxwell, good morning, Ron. Maxwell, good morning to you in the Russian Federation. We can see what Total Wine is selling it for right about now. They got the big bottle. Oh, gotta get my glasses. You'll get a better price per ounce if you get the big jug bottle, but I wasn't sure if I'd like it, so I just bought this for $9.99. Price did go up after I bought it. Luckily, I got it before the inflation kicked in too bad. Still got it listed $9.99, but it's $24 if you get the handle. Let's see, Huntington Beach, California. Well, that doesn't do me much good. But I did buy it when it was here, so you can get it at Huntington Beach, California. Maybe if it's in stock. It says limited quantities may be available in the store. That's usually a bad sign with those guys. You go to the store and there's no quantities. It's actually cheaper if you buy the smaller bottle, but that's assuming you can find it, and it doesn't look like they carry it around here anymore. Well, Baton Rouge, They say Baton Rouge has it. Nah, it's not around. Oh well, no great loss. It's an okay product, but it's not like anything you got to find. It's not like you say, I gotta get Glen Logie. I that shows how rare and valuable it is. Everybody must be looking for it, laughing out loud. Yeah, well, probably they didn't order anymore. Or it could have been limited supply. Maybe the price was so low, people were buying it just to have it and couldn't keep up with it or something. I don't know. Or Whyte and McKay might have curtailed the production because it was cutting into their better priced scotches. You know what I mean? It could have been undermining their own product with it being too cheap. I don't know. Some people think that's why Anheuser-Busch lowered the ABV on Busch from 4.8 to 4.3 to discourage people from buying it, and because this is the theory at least, that people were starting to abandon Budweiser to buy a Busch because they were only losing 2 percentage points, 0.2%. I mean, 5 to 4.8, not much of a difference. And plus the taste wasn't really any worse or better. So they were saving a bundle of money and not losing much on the ABV. So this is the theory. We got no evidence to prove this, but the theory is they dropped it way down to 4.3. And they figured a lot of people would say, oh no, I'm not going to give up Budweiser for a 4.3 weakling. Who knows? It sounds plausible though, right? Because you don't want to cannibalize your company, meaning you're losing sales of your flagship to an underling. You're still getting the money, but you don't want your flagship to lose market share. We know Budweiser has lost market share for the last 35 years due to a number of factors. The main factor being the rise of Bud Light. Now we got the rise and fall of Bud Light. But until April Fool's Day, that's an important date, 2023. And it's interesting that guy made that post on April Fool's Day. But whatever the case there, as the Budweiser sales dropped, the Bud Light sales went up. So that was their other flagship. So it wasn't really hurting anything there. It's not like the Budweiser fans jumped to Coors Light or they jumped to an Imperial Stout. No, they just jumped to Bud Light. Okay, but anyway, that's this side story. It's weird how many of their products compete with each other. Yeah, that's why Molson Coors cut out a lot of their products because it was competition. One of their own products competing with other products. They killed off Magnum Malt Liquor. Killed off Ice House Edge, but they brought it back because they realized they wanted an 8%er to go up against Natty Daddy, I guess. But you understand, Red Dog, they just had too many of their own products competing with each other. Didn't make any difference to me. I liked Red Dog, Red Dog, however you're supposed to pronounce that word, dog. But it was wasn't like something I had to have, like, oh, I gotta have Red Dog. I did like Keystone Ice though, that was the jewel, but it's too strong. I used to get 30 packs of that stuff. Man, you're drinking 5.9%ers all the time. It starts to build up, it's a little bit too much alcohol, right? Honestly, I really think it is. 4.1 is a little nicer, a little safer. What's the most popular light beer now? Are they going out of style? They're not going out of style. It's a good question. I know Busch Light's selling like crazy around here because a lot of people don't make the connection, But Busch Light is really ramped up in the last 9 months. We can get it in 12-ounce bottles or cans or any kind of size, really. I'm sure Miller Lite is a champ. Yingling Light does well. Coors Light always selling. Keystone Light always selling. Natural Light always selling. Milwaukee's Best Light's always on there. I mean, that thing moves. I really don't know what's the top one. All I know is whatever one's cheap, buy it. And in this case, there's 3 options, so I buy. Well, I just bought Milwaukee's Best Light. I always like it. But Keystone Light's fine too. But that's the cheapest 30 packs we can get in Louisiana is the $19.99 a 30 pack. I preferred when they were $14.58, but that was like 9 years ago. All right. They're both golden, so the appearance won't matter. The price for these is about the same, so that doesn't make a difference. The availability is about the same. Unavailable. What I mean is, a lot of people comment and say they don't even live by Trader Joe's. They've only been open in Louisiana for the last 20 years. Baton Rouge for years, and then the one in Metairie for 7 years. So it's probably more like the last 15 years. I know the Baton Rouge one has been there a while, but they never sold liquor. I don't know if they sell it now because Baton Rouge has strange liquor ordinances, regulations. Metairie, yeah, any store can sell liquor if they get a license, obviously. Baton Rouge, I think they changed that rule though, because now Albertson sells liquor on the aisles, the regular store aisle, just like the cereal aisle or the cosmetics. Used to be Albertsons had a separate liquor store attached to it. You know, that old thing, like in Florida, they got Winn-Dixie. You can't buy liquor at Winn-Dixie, but next to it, attached is Winn-Dixie liquor. So it's like, it's a game. Obviously, they'll claim it was a separate store when it's obviously not. But it's a separate entity in a sense. Not much aroma, but in Louisiana, it's inside the stove. All right. Depending on the store, some got it behind the counter because of theft, worrying about stealing, and others got it right out there on the aisle. Just depends. What's for breakfast? Steve from Philly. I had an egg, one egg scrambled with yellow onions diced jalapeno, corned beef, hot sauce, McCormick seasonal, black pepper, and Rouse's hot sauce. Yep. It was good. Getting a little tired of eating omelets though. Okay, this smelled like cereal grain, but it's very faint. I'm ready for that too. Oh, and I had some bread with butter, not margarine, butter, and strawberry preserve to clean it up. This smelled like a little more compost. So a little bit more compost pile here, a little bit more sweeter grain here. But aroma so far, I don't know. They're kind of the same. So cheers to the taste. Yeah, sweet honey cereal. I mean, literally, it's like if you got, you know, those box cereals with the honey top, whatever it is. That's what it tastes like, except those are not 40% alcohol. Ha, ha, ha. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more. But I mean, it's not really a joke. That's the difference. But yeah, it tastes like that. Okay. Fine. You like honey top grain cereals? Oats, wheat, corn? Hey. This tastes like that, but with a strong compost pile component. And I don't think there's too many box breakfast cereals that taste like a compost pile. Just living like a king, huh? Yeah, I'm living like a king. In some ways, that's true. Okay. I think that's the Trader Joe's because I remember having that compost pile. I got 5 wins, 4 losses. Either that means I'm a bad taster, I don't believe that, or B, it's because the Trader Joe's blended scotch is very common to the rest of them. It doesn't taste any better than them for sure for $10.99 a liter, but it's no worse. So would that be a strong argument for trying out the Trader Joe's blended scotch? Yes, it actually would be. It's you're not losing much. It's not like something to go running around saying, "Oh, it's so bad. I hate it." A, it's not so bad, and I don't know why you would hate it. Now you might say it's bland. Okay, you buy it and say, "Well, it's kind of bland. There's not a whole lot going with it. It's just kind of ho hum. I guess I won't buy it again." Yeah, I'll go along with that. But some of these reviews saying it tastes like chemicals and airplane glue and hairspray and all that, nail polish remover. It's like, nah, you're just being dramatic. It doesn't taste anything like that. Now you could come at me and say compost pile. You said compost pile. Yeah, because it does taste like that. And a lot of scotch that has that peaty note does taste like that, which is why a lot of people cannot stand scotch. Whiskey, you ever get acid reflux? No, not really. Can't say I do. I know other people suffer with that, but no, it's not a problem here. It's like other people say headaches. Oh, this beer gives me a headache, or this wine gives me a headache, and so well, I don't ever get that from any type, beer, wine, liquor, nothing, nothing gives me that issue. None of them give me a stomach ache or anything like that. Just the truth. Okay, so Glen Logie, is it worth buying? Oh yeah. Would I chase it down? Oh no. Will I buy it again? Well, I don't buy anything again because I have to do the long march through the brand. So catch you next century and I'll get it again. You know what I'm saying? No, I mean, I just repurchases don't fit my program. I did repurchase Johnny Walker Red Label, but that's a different story because that's a main line. That's like the flagship of blended scotch. So when you're doing taste challenges, you kind of have to have that one. That's like your template. It's like what every other scotch mainline regular old brand aspires to be. If I'm gonna do Canadian whiskey, common sense, I gotta have Crown Royal. You know, if I'm doing bourbon, I kind of need to have Jim Beam around just as a reference point. Tennessee whiskey, well, there's not that many brands of that anyway, so we're not going to discuss Jack Daniel's. That's a niche brand area. Irish whiskey, common sense. I need to have Jameson, right? Brandy, it would kind of make sense to have E&J brandy around, but I don't have any more. Paul Masson, yeah, that would be a good one to keep around because it's so common. Everybody sells it. Tequila, obviously, you know as well as I do. Obviously, Jose Cuervo got to be in the mix. Rum's got to be Bacardi in the mix. Got to be there for good or ill. But I say for good, but other people got some kind of anger issue. Now, Mezcal, well, no, there's no flagship there because that's a tiny segment of the thing. Rye whiskey, yeah, same thing. I don't guess there's a flagship on that one. Sure, you got Jim Beam rye, your Jack Daniel's rye, your Old Overhaul, but to say there's a leader, a market leader, I wouldn't say that. If there is, I'm not aware of it. You're probably not aware of it. It is the Glen Logie. I just knew when I tasted that honey top breakfast cereal. I knew it. I knew it. I need to come out with my own brand. Right. And I don't need to do it, and I definitely don't want to do it. So, and it will not happen. Now, if Brown Foreman calls me and says we'd like to make a brand named after you, of course I go along with it, but it would have to be a $500 bottle aged for 25 years and very hard to get. Very, exclusive, very special. We call it VIP Tennessee whiskey. Louisiana Liquor Reviews specialty. But let's not entertain that because of silliness. Cheers, Ronald the Riot. Cheers, Ronald Terrio, Drewski Brewski. Cheers to all of you guys. So the winner, it's hard to say, I guess I'm the winner because I got it right. I got 6 wins and 4 losses. In the first 10 taste challenges, not a good score, but rather be 6 and 4 than 4 wins and 6 losses. Personally, I would rather drink the Glen Logie because I like the honey topped grain, breakfast cereal flavor. That PD compost pile flavor, I'm not exactly in love with that. I could eat rotten vegetables at other times in my life, but I'm not really looking to do that. Might attract flies, but otherwise, yeah, I rather smoky scotch. That tastes like that smoke. We were having a swamp fire around here, caused a terrible wreck yesterday with the fog, and 7 people were killed. And it was bad, horrible. But on Interstate 55, which is now closed. But it does smell kind of like that. That I can smell that smoke all day from that swamp fire. Kind of reminds me of that peat smoke, But anyway, I was supposed to bring in Diageo today, as you know, but I'm delaying it to get everything else out of the way. Then I'm going to close out with the Diageo showdown. So Glen Logie, won't be seeing that till the next time. And I got enough for probably 10 taste challenges left. Doesn't look like a lot, but I bet you I get 10 taste challenges out of it. Trader Joe's, that's going to ride for years. I've got Inverhouse coming up. Maybe I get 4 taste challenges out of that one. That bottle's been serving me well for 5 years, but it's going to be closing out. But I got Inverhouse, green plaid. It's the only Inverhouse product we get around here that I'm aware of. They got a big website, but they don't list the green plaid. I think that's because they let Sazerac handle it. That's fine with me. I paid $11.99 for the liter. It's okay. It's kind of ordinary, but it's nothing bad. Inverhouse, yeah, that's coming up. It'll probably be the same video that you just watched, kind of like whatever you want to get. Then after Inverhouse, we got Dewar's White Label. Another kind of so-so. #1 selling scotch in the United States. I guess Americans like bland drinks. It must be it because it is rather bland. The Dewar's 12-year age. Oh yeah, it'll destroy Trader Joe's. So Trader Joe's is nice, but against Dewar's 12-year age, it doesn't stand a chance. Then of course, why would it? The Dewar's 12-year age for a big bottle like that. It's like $68 for that big handle. Trader Joe's, $10.99 for a liter. So yeah, that's not really a fair challenge, but it's going to happen. And then it's Diageo time with all of their brands. All right, well, y'all take care and have a good Tuesday. Bye-bye.